Now children, in this video, again we will see the concept of ionic product and solubility product. As I was telling you on the previous day, in the last video, that what is ionic product? Product of the concentrations of the ions present in solution. So suppose we have the electrolyte AXBY, it breaks up like this. X times A and Y times B. Forget about the charges, they are not much to be considered here. So X times A, Y times B. So IP will be A and B, A to the power X, B to the power Y. These charges should be there to show it properly, otherwise charges are not playing any important role here. So simply A to the power X, B to the power Y in a simple terms. And this is your ionic product. Product of the concentrations of the ions, and the square bracket means in moles per liter. Clear? So at any time when dissolved salt in the beginning, midway, solution became saturated, even it got dissolved and now it's still not dissolving, but still you are going on and trying. So suppose you had put any amount and now you added some more. What all you're putting, you are assuming it to be A times X, B times Y, because AB will break up into X times A and Y times B. Charges for theory purpose, right now, don't focus on the charges. Clear? Now, that is any point of time, or simply say it is X times A, Y times B. Okay? So it goes this way. Product of the concentrations of the ions, I repeat again, needless to say again and again, expressed in moles per liter. Because these values cannot be random values. They have to be always in moles per liter. In the entire chemistry you have seen, we put these values in the square brackets always as moles per liter, to which we call active mass or molar concentration. Now, solubility product. Again, this is AXBY, breaks up into, forget about the charges, X times A, Y times B. So at any point of time, if you go for K at equilibrium, so it will be A X times B Y times. I'm not focusing on the charge. Upon AX BY. In the entire chapter, children, we have seen the weak electrolytes, because this very concept, which is based on Ostwald's dilution law, this is applicable firstly for weak electrolytes and that too for very dilute solutions. So normally what happens, if you see, you take it this way, K AX BY will be A times X, B times Y. Okay? Don't focus on the charges when you're going to understand the concept. It's only for theory purpose. Now since it's a weak electrolyte, dilute solution, with the result, within practical limits, this concentration AXBY remains almost constant. Hence, we can call it K constant, right? This is given a new name, a new concept, a new term, KSP. K stands for constant, SP means solubility product. Now children, so this is your solubility product, which is so solubility product is A times X, B times Y, which was same as that of your ionic product. So children, you will say, what is the difference? Frankly speaking, 95%, 90%, they both are same. You see, simply product of the concentrations of the ions. Now please try to understand again what I am trying to tell you now, which was carrying my explanation yesterday lengthy. Now I have taken up that again. Children, you have a salt AB going into A plus B minus. You see, I have just removed X and Y, totally removed. To explain in simple words, AB breaks up into A plus B minus, correct? Cations. If you take 1 mole, it will give you 1 mole of this, 1 mole of this. This is what is assumed to be. If you take 2 moles, it will give you 2 moles of this and 2 moles of this. Fine. So at any point of time, its IP, ionic product will be 1 into 1. But at its second mole, 2 into 2. You add third mole. So we assume it must have given 3 into 3. 3 this, 3 this. You add 10. So if you add 10 AB, it will be 10 and this will be 10. This is what is assumed to be electrolyte. 10A plus 10B minus. So you went on dissolving and dissolving, and at every point of time, You went on calculating its IP. Say it was 18. 18 moles you took. So 18A plus 18B minus. So 18A plus 18B minus. 18A plus 18B minus. So 18 into 18 is what? IP, or just say IP. 19 you have put. 19 into 19 is what? Again IP. Now, you went on dissolving. You had put 20th mole of AB. You went on stirring properly, and finally at that temperature only, with lots of difficulty or whatever you say, that was the last mole which could dissolve at that temperature in that 1 liter of solution. Sorry. So at that point of time, your ionic product will be 20 into 20. You did it. You calculated 20 into 20. Now you have put further beyond that, 21st. So in spite of all your efforts, do you think it will dissolve now? Because when it was 20 to 20, you found, you realized, you noticed, you observed that solution is now totally saturated at that temperature. It cannot dissolve anymore. Till 19, it went on dissolving, and you went on calculating 3 into 3, 4 into 4, 5 into 5, depending upon what all number of moles you had dissolved. That was your IP. The moment it was 20th, say for example, not that 20th was something measured or calculated or deliberate, just arbitrarily an example. So suppose it was 20th mole with lots of difficulty, and finally at that temperature, that was the last mole which could dissolve. At that temperature, that was the last mole which could dissolve. So at that point of time, your IP is 20 into 20 because it got dissolved. When you put 21st, you went on trying and trying, but it did not dissolve. Rather, it settled down. You noticed the PPT settling down. What all was dissolved is now settling down, right? That settled down, that did not dissolve, that settled down. The 21st particle settled down. 22nd again went down and settled down, and rather gave you PPT, right? When you had put 21st, it did not dissolve, rather it precipitated, it settled down, right? You take salt, you go on dissolving and dissolving, and beyond a limit, if you add, that will turn all back. You might have seen children, suppose you take salt and you dissolve in half cup of water. It dissolves to maximum. You heat it, it dissolved. Now you cool and bring to normal temperature. So all that salt which got dissolved after heating, say on heating, above normal room temperature, right? What all portion of salt which was dissolved above room temperature on heating, when your solution is cooled back to normal room temperature, that entire amount turns back, and we call that PPT. That's separated out. So same thing here, when we had 21st extra, that settled down. So at that point of time, what is your IP? 21 into 21. You will not say 1, 1. Not as 21, 21. Right? Because you have put 21st mole. And with that 21st mole, it settled down. Right? You cannot count as 1 or 2. But you found something solid at the bottom. And that happened when the 21st mole was put up. I have not shown here 21st taken. But if it is only when 21st was taken. 22nd, furthermore, you will see more of solid. 23rd, when you are putting, the 23 and 23 will be furthermore. All are IP. But when it was 19 into 19, solution was unsaturated. Till 19 into 19, solution was unsaturated. It was 5 into 5, unsaturated, means more salt could be dissolved. 19 into 19, or let's say 18 into 18, more salt can be dissolved. 19 into 19, more salt can be dissolved or could be dissolved. 20 into 20, maximum. No more salt could be dissolved, as well as no PPT was there. The solution was saturated. But what was it actually? IP only. When we had put 21st, we found things settling at the bottom. You call that PPT or residue, whatever name you want to give. So at that time, solid was settling down. 21 into 21st, 21 into 21, 22 into 22, and gradually. It is also IP. But you see, at this point of time when solution was saturated, the same IP is also called your solubility product. Means, what is solubility product? Nothing but the IP, ionic product, when the solution is saturated. So it gives you an idea about the solubility of the salt. If IP is equal to KSP, solution is saturated. No PPT formed and no more can be dissolved. If the value of IP is less than KSP, if KSP more and IP is less, it means solution is unsaturated. More salt can be dissolved, like it was here. 19 into 19, 18 into 18. It is unsaturated, more salt can be dissolved. But the moment it was 20 into 20, same IP became equal to KSP. So here, neither salt can be dissolved and there was no PPT also. So solution was neither unsaturated nor PPT, it was purely saturated. And above that, suppose the IP value is above KSP, it means PPT will be formed. So children, in many numericals, they give you the value of KSP. They give you the value of KSP, this is here, and you calculate IP, or they give you IP, you calculate KSP. Either way, children, both have the same formula. If they give you KSP is equal to this, right? So you calculate IP, you will have to calculate IP, or they give you IP, you calculate KSP. You compare the two. If KSP is equal to IP, when solution is saturated at a given temperature. If KSP is equal to IP, it's only when solution is saturated at a given temperature, because the values of KSP are fixed at a given temperature, because that reflects solubility. If you increase temperature, solubility might increase. And there are some solutes where solubility decreases also with temperature, rise in temperature. So this is very important, KSP. That's why the K word has been there. Maybe otherwise it was only solubility product. Product of the solubilities. Whatever number of moles they dissolve, their ions you multiply, you call it solubility product. As it was simply ionic product, it is the maximum when solution got dissolved that reflects the solubility, and we call that solubility product instead of only calling ionic product. Solubility product is what? Same ionic product reflecting or measured when solution is saturated, to which we call by the other name also solubility product, which is shown by KSP. So when solution is saturated, at that point of time, IP will always be equal to KSP. Suppose out of these two values, they give you one value. And they ask you, tell whether solution will be saturated, unsaturated, or whatever. So if they give you KSP, you calculate IP. Or if they give you IP, you calculate KSP. And then see, compare it. If they both are equal, it is saturated. If IP is more than KSP, as here IP is more than KSP, then what will happen? PPT will be formed. And if it is less than, means KSP is more than IP, then the solution will be saturated, more solute can be dissolved. So in nutshell, IP and KSP have the same formula, same way of calculation, A ion, B ion, X to the power X and Y, those powers raised, A, B, X and Y. Very same formulas. Often they give you KSP. You calculate IP and you compare and you say PPT will be formed or not. If your IP exceeds KSP value, PPT will be formed certainly. Solubility level is over. If IP is less than KSP, means more solute can be dissolved. And if they both are exactly same, solution is saturated. This is what you have to learn, children, that what is solubility product and ionic product. So a PPT is formed only when, I told you, a PPT is formed when IP exceeds KSP. This point is very important. This point we'll be using to see the applications of, common ion effect. That's why I'm stressing this point. When IP exceeds KSP, PPT will be formed. I repeat, PPT is formed, PPT will be formed when IP exceeds KSP. This point is very, very important. You have to answer with this term, using this term, that since IP exceeds KSP, so PPT will be formed. How and why? I'll go back to common and effect and I will explain you. So, PPT is formed only when IP exceeds KSP. If it is not exceeding, means PPT will not be formed, right? And if it is equal, then it will be a saturated solution. So I hope the terms ionic product, solubility product, KSP, and what do you mean by saturated, unsaturated, and PPT formed these terms, these concepts in terms of IP and KSP. When it is unsaturated, IP will be less than KSP. When saturated, it will be equal to. When PPT formed, IP exceeds KSP. This is the summary, an important point. I hope now they all are clear to you. If I again go and explain, it will be repetition. So just see this video once or twice again in the evening. It will be very much clear to you. So this is all for this video. I stop here for this video.